What is going on, everybody? Hitmonchan here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech. Today we're taking a look at Meowscarada EX, a fan favorite deck, one of my favorite decks. When this card first came out, I tried it in a Lost Zone version, I tried it with Pidgeot, I tried it with Bibarel, but nothing quite flowed together. It was really dependent on your turn 1 draws, and if you didn't get a good turn 1 draw, that's basically it. But now, since we have some TM Evolution cards, the TM Devolution cards, and we have Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Meowscarada, I think, has potential to be a top tier deck. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to go through, it's going to be a little bit of a longer intro, so be prepared. I'm going to do a little bit of strategy this time, just kind of explain the deck and why I think it really works. So we're just going to go right into it. Meowscarada EX has 310 HP. It is a grass type with the Bouquet Magic attack, which will let you discard a basic grass energy from your hand and put 3 damage counters, 3, right on one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Now we can move these damage counters around with Radiant Alakazam, and the important thing is we can move these damage counters from the bench to the active and then use Scratching Nails for only a single double colorless attachment to do 100 damage plus 120 more, and that's only if our opponent's active has damage counters on it. So to get set up here, we're going to be using cards like Lumineon to get off Ultra Ball, and we're going to try and find these Arvens so we can get the Buddy-Buddy Poffin TM Evo combo. Zard used to play it with Bibarel, and I think it's kind of the go-to way to play some off-meta Stage 2 decks right now. Really, really strong, and you know, Sprigatito's really good because they have a 70 HP version with 1 retreat, so we can put this into play, and we don't have to worry about it getting double KO'd with Sableye. Obviously, we have the Manaphy in here to protect against the bench, 2 Bibarel line for some draw support, 2 of the Floragatos to evolve into, and then we evolve into Meowscaradas, and we go from there. Now, the rest of the deck is pretty simple. We have some Artisans for some support in getting our bench Pokemon down. We have the Ionos, we got some Research, a boss, you know, 2 Energy Retrieval to get those energies back that we discard off of Bouquet Magic. We have Professor Turo Scenario in here, which is really, really strong in enabling us to pick up a Meowscarada out of play if it's been hit already. And we can also use Professor Turo to pick up a Bibarel if it's been, you know, stuck in the active, or we can pick up Lumineon after we've already used it, because we don't play Collapsed or anything like that in here. So the Turo Scenario is a really clutch card. Also an Earthen Vessel to find more energy off of something like an Arven. Energy-wise, we're playing 4 double turbos and 6 grass energy. Perfect count. Now, Meowscarada did end up getting, I think, like top 16 at Perth Regional Championships, which small tournament. It's a small tournament, so some off-meta decks will have a better chance to shine. They need to win for less rounds to make day 2, make top cut, all that stuff. However, Meowscarada I think is a really solid play now for a couple of reasons. One, Zard's really popular. Meowscarada destroys Zard. They play the 60 HP Charmanders, and you can easily KO them with Bouquet Magic and TM Devolution, and you hit them for weakness. Zard is a free matchup for the most part. Same thing with Chien-Pao. You can use all these different pieces, TM Devo, Bouquet Magic, to get rid of Frigivax pretty easily. You should be kind of smoking the Chien-Pao as long as you get set up good against Turbo Iron Hands, because it's really hard for them to KO a Meowscarada EX with 310 HP, and you can move the damage with Radiant Alakazam, so you're consistently hitting the Iron Hands in the active spot. And the good thing about it is if you can send it to the bench, then Bouquet Magic to KO it, Heavy Baton does not activate. Lugia, pretty good into Lugia as well, because Cinccino, its pre-evolution, Minccino, has 60 HP. So with that, you'll be able to very easily KO them with Bouquet Magic. You can easily KO Lugia Vs and Luminions, and you can just kind of spread damage in a way that makes it really hard for them to keep up and consistently KO your Meowscarada EX. Pretty decent into Lost Zone. Lost Zone, one of your worst matchups, but if you can get enough Meowscaradas into play, you can take effectively 2 prizes every turn. Then if you have to use something like a Roaring Moon to knock you out, you can send it to the bench, Bouquet Magic it to knock it out, and then use Scratching Nails to KO the active Pokemon. So lots of really cool combos with this deck, lots of really good things, you know, even good into Gardevoir. Gardevoir playing the tools and putting their Drifloons at really high HP. We also have Lost Vacuum in here, so you can potentially use Lost Vacuum to take a KO, use Bouquet Magic to take a KO, and then attack the active and take a KO. Now, the only card I haven't mentioned so far about this deck is its Ace Spec choice. What Ace Spec are we playing? The Perth list was playing a Master Ball, and this I think was smart because it lets you get set up easier. You have a lot more easier ways to find Meowscarada, but I've opted to go a different route with the Hero's Cape. Now, I think the Hero's Cape is really good. for the same reason that Hero's Cape is really good in Charizard. Lots of people are playing Prime Catcher in Charizard. Lots of people are playing Max Belt. But Hero's Cape is different because it will let you get 100 more HP, making it really hard for Chien-Pao to KO you, and just really difficult for Charizards to KO you in the late game. Now, Radiant Charizard can still KO you because it hits you for weakness, but Hero's Cape will allow you to just get an extra boost in HP, then maybe your opponent won't be able to even two-shot you, and you can use Professor Turo to scoop it right back up. Hero's Cape's also really good if you're playing against something and you don't have the best setup. You can throw it on one of your little Pokemon, like a Bibarel, and make that 220 HP, so it can't easily get like Sableye in the active spot, for example. So that's why I think Hero's Cape is really good in this deck. Now, I think I've kind of gone over the basic strategy. You're going to get to see this deck into action. I'm considering building this deck with, physical cards and bringing it to my locals, so I'll let you know how I do. But we're going to go ahead and just get some dubs with Meowscarada EX. Just wanted to give a quick thank you to the lovely sponsors of the Hitmonchanting channel. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to ptcglstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. And be sure to check out Pokemon.gg, the best Pokemon card tracker and deck builder there is. You can track your entire collection and see its value, build decks quickly and easily, create custom wish lists, and so much more. Join Pokemon.gg by clicking the link below and use code Hitmon to get $5 off a pro membership. These are some great products for some great prices. Thank you to my sponsors for supporting the channel, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, let's get right back into the video. Our opponent has called the coin flip, but it did land on tails. So we're going to choose to go second here. We want to get that TM Evo play. We want to begin to evolve our guys up, get ready to go, and that will be a very happy ending for us. Now, this does guarantee us the TM Evo play, but I'm kind of hoping that we can find a grass energy so I don't have to waste a double turbo. Now, our opponent is playing a future deck, future hands most likely, and this is going to be a little bit difficult in the early stages, but I think later on we'll be able to kind of claw back, use your counter catcher to really disrupt their game plan, and I think we'll be good to go from there. So this is, pretty decent start. They're not going to be able to KO this Manaphy because obviously we're going second. So here's the Techno Radar going to allow them to put a bunch of Pokemon onto the bench by searching for 2 future Pokemon and putting them into their hand. Now they've gotten rid of 2 energies off these Techno Radars, which is interesting. So they got to have one in hand. We know we have 4 future Pokemon and energy in hand. That's what we know. So what are those other 2 cards? There's a Lightning Energy. There's the hands. There's going to be the crown. There's going to be the other crown. They're going to actually Ultra Ball, though. Get rid of those 2. Maybe get Mew EX. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That last card right up the top over there, that's a supporter. 100% that's a supporter for next turn. They'll need another crown at some point, but now it's just a pass. And for us, we are going to draw another double turbo, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we do want to start with the Artisan here. Now, Artisan will let us get a Bidoof and a Sprigatito, or one of them, I should say. We only have 1 Floragato as well in the deck. So 1 Meowscarada being prized, 1 Floragato being prized, that's also not very good. Also prized an Iono, and another card being an Ultra Ball. So pretty bad prizing. A Rare Candy is rough for us too, but that does mean we have the TM Evo, and that does mean that we have a double turbo prize as well. That's terrible. That's really bad prizing. We'll get the Sprigatito down. Buddy-Buddy Poffin will come through, get us Bidoof and Sprigatito. And I think Arven can grab us probably Buddy-Buddy plus the TM Evo is fine here. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, I think that's okay, because now we can just go ahead. We have double barrel in the deck, so we can just build the board from there. Which is Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Look at this. This is a sick board. This is a sick board state. And then we'll TM Evo. The only bad thing is using this double turbo, but that's okay. I honestly don't really mind that too much because we can Evolution. Evolution will let us evolve these 2 guys up. We have Ultra Ball, which can get us another Sprigatito. We have Arven, which can get us the Rare Candy if we need it. And then that'll be all she wrote. Now, they could have gone for an Iron Bundle and forced something else into the active, which I wouldn't have really liked, but considering we have a Meowscarada prized, this is completely fine. I'm not really worried about that. Here's a Pokestops. This is an interesting turbo hand or future box build. Restart first, Pokestop second. Gonna enable them to find some stuff, but they didn't have a supporter in that. So getting the other Iron Crown, which will guarantee them the KO on this Manaphy. I'm curious what this Pokestop will net them. Maybe it's going to be something like I was going to say Pokegear, but no Pokegear in sight. So I think our main priority is KOing this hands, which we can pretty easily do, thanks to the power of Counter Catcher and all of that cool beans. We can get this hands decently KO'd. We will have room for Radiant Alakazam. We should be okay. So here is Floragato in our active spot. We do get Research. Research as well is really interesting, just to see us a bunch more cards. I kind of like that play. Yeah, I actually do like that play. So to start, I'll go for the Industrious Incisors because we have an Ultra Ball. Alakazam is perfect here. This is exactly what I wanted. Now I can Ultra Ball, and Ultra Ball can grab me the Meowscarada that I've been so desperately craving. And yeah, this is a really solid hand. Another option that we have here, obviously we go for the Research play. We do get the Counter Catcher as well, so we can Bouquet Magic 3 in the Iron Hands and KO it with the Counter Catcher. That's hilarious. Isn't that funny? Like, I think that's funny, right? We do that, Counter Catcher, bring up the hands. Don't even need to use Alakazam here. We can throw the TM on the Bidoof. Even the Force Seal we'll keep for now, and we literally just KO it with 200. Maybe we Lost Vacuum, get rid of the Seal Stone, get rid of their Pokestop just to limit their draw, because they don't have any heavy batons down. Now we're just scratching nails for a perfect 230 damage. Goodbye, Mr. Iron Hands. It was nice knowing you. And that's going to be the first 2 prizes. Hopefully a Meowscarada or Rare Candy. Meowscarada and Double Turbo is pretty good. I can't really complain about that in the slightest. So they're going to lead with the Mew EX. That seems reasonable. And now a really cool play that we can do if we don't really have a lot going on is they're going to concede. Okay, I wanted to play that out to show more Meowscarada, but I think we just got a really strong setup, and you kind of saw the raw aggression of Meowscarada. You don't really need to be passive with this deck. You can deal with the aggressive big basics pretty easily and pretty early, which is what I really like about it. Meowscarada dub is a good dub at the end of the day. We get to call the starting coin flip here. This is going to be a tails never fails situation. Forget that I said that. Tails has been failing me over and over. Hopefully our opponent is going to choose to go first though, and let us graciously get that TM Evo play that I oh so dream of every time. They are going to choose to go first, which hopefully will let us get a decent setup going. I'm not sure what we're playing here, but this seems to be a semi-decent hand. I'm not, not the best, not the worst. We have Artisan, so we can get some things going. They're going to be playing a Roaring Moon deck. I can kind of figure based off of their sleeves over here. But there's Raining Greninja. They have the Dunsparce on the bench. There's the Roaring Moon. Okay, this is going to be, fingers crossed, an easy matchup. They might just pass here. Okay, they're just going to pass. I'm happy with that. We'll put the Artisan down. We get Sprigatito. We get a really good setup here. So Buddy-Buddy Poffin will enable us to go Sprigatito and Bidoof. Double check what we have Pokemon-wise. We have double Bibarel. We have double Floragato, so we're okay. This is a really solid setup. I genuinely can't complain about this at all. Artisan here. There's not much we can grab them that will help them, if that makes sense. And here's the big research. Hopefully we find TM Evo and Energy. We don't, but that's okay. We can attach to this Sprigatito and pass. Now we have the double Floragato. We have the Arven, which can help us get an Ultra Ball to get the to get our good pal Rare Candy plus Rare Candy plus thingy, Rare Candy plus Ultra Ball. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. They're gonna get rid of a bunch of trekking shoes and explorer's guidance and all that, and they have a Dunsparce. Now the cool thing about this is we don't need the TM Devo because they're gonna continuously Artisan, runaway draw a bunch of cards, and then put it back in, but their Dunsparce are going to have to evolve, so we can very easily lock them out of the game later on. If they don't get a good setup going, we can just Iono, KO their Dunsparce, and they're going to be like, oh, I have no cards in my hand. Alternatively, they're weak to grass, so we can very easily knock them out with our good pal Sprigatito, or Floragato, or Meowscarada. What am I saying today? I don't even know what I'm saying today. They do the Dark Patch plus Attach, which means they're going to be able to KO this Bidoof, which is fine because we only have one Bibarel. Vengeance Fletching for 110 will let them get the KO here. Now, my goal Unfortunately, I won't be able to get a double Meowscarada play, but my goal is to get a Meowscarada on the field this turn. That is my goal. And the Ultra Ball will let me accomplish that, but I do want to start with an Artisan search, get another Sprigatito down, and make sure I have rare candies and such. I have rare candies. Yeah, there's all that. I have my Meowscaradas. Okay, we're chilling. We're chilling. I'll evolve you. I'll evolve these. Yeah, I'll evolve these two on the bench. See, it's all working out pretty good here. I can go for a counter catcher on the Dunsparce, but I do want to KO this Roaring Moon right here first. So we'll start with the Artisan, or the Arven. We'll get Rare Candy. We'll get a TM Evo. The Cape we can use later on. Counter catcher, again, not really useful right now. We'll do that, and we can now have the turn 2 Meowscarada pretty easily, if I do say so myself. And we also get to draw another bunch of cards here, which is really, really sweet. So we'll go for the Industrious Incisors. That will net us a Earthen Vessel and a Sealstone. Thing is we're doing enough to KO the Roaring Moon anyways already. We don't really need to do any of this other stuff. I'm going to wait to use this Earthen Vessel till next turn. We'll just take the KO, and then I'll let you know why. There's no reason for me to start spreading damage because A, the Dunsparces are only 60 HP. B is, why do I need to put damage on for them just to run away, draw, and get rid of it? My goal is going to be to Buddy-Buddy these Dunsparce, or not Buddy-Buddy, to Bouquet Magic these Dunsparce while they're just getting set up. Then I'll Iono them this next turn. They're leading the Dunsparce once again. They can Artisan for another Roaring Moon and get set up that way. Alternatively, they might be looking to get a Roaring Moon EX to actually get set up or turn KO this Meowscarada. But they're just getting the Dunsparces down. And I'm assuming they have a way to get a Roaring Moon into play this turn. There is the EX, and they're going to have to Frenzied Gouging, which is going to be tough for them. But maybe they're just trying to pull the Pokemon out so they can power up. I think a baby Roaring Moon into a Roaring Moon EX is a better play, to be completely honest, because then they don't have to really worry about the Roaring Moon getting like return KO'd by a Bouquet Magic. But for right now, this is completely fine. We'll just let them do their thing, let them get set up, and I'm gonna KO, like, I'm gonna take like 3 prizes this turn probably. That's my goal. That's my main goal. There's a Sawdust Vitality, so they're gonna be able to power these moons up, get them ready. They get 10 cards in hand. That's really gonna drop drastically. It's gonna, forget drastic draw. It's gonna be a drastic drop. And there they are, just, you know, once this deck gets kind of rolling, it's really cool because you kind of get to see every facet. You have the booster energy capsule, my friend, that's fine. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You're gonna go for the Frenzied Gouging. That's okay. See, the thing that I might want to do here now is, like, I gotta find the double turbo. Can I find the boss's orders without using like a supporter or anything? That's kind of the challenge here. Because if I can boss, I can KO the Roaring Moon, and I can KO a Dunsparce, pretty much. We're definitely leading Floragato here. And yeah, this is going to be interesting for sure. Really going to be interesting. We'll see what I can do. So I'll definitely evolve you first. I can use the Artisan just to kind of look through the deck. Alakazam, like, I'm going to KO this Roaring Moon no matter what. But I do have the boss. You know, I have the double turbos. Iono is probably the safer play, realistically. Iono is the safer play. So Earthen Vessel. Get 2 energy. And just go Bouquet Magic. Just punch him real hard. Hit the bench Dunsparce. Then, yeah. Like, I don't need the Lost Vacuum. I don't really need anything here. That's the thing. So Iono first is a good play, I think. Then we'll see. We should have some Ultra Balls, some ways to finish them off here. Heroescape is also a really good call. How do I want to do this, though? Super Rod. I don't want any of these energies back just yet. I think I do want the Meowscarada, though. So Super Rod, I'll probably just put the Meowscarada back. These energies can stay. And then I'll Heroescape. Yeah, that's a good plan. I'll do this. I'll get the other Meowscarada. Because even if we get ourselves just a grass energy, we can still get rid of this Dunsparce on the bench. This Heroescape will go on the active Meowscarada, and we will Bibarel, hopefully finding a double turbo energy, which we do find very graciously. And and we can go ahead and attach that, and we'll KO this Roaring Moon here. Buddy-Buddy will also be a little good way to thin. And we can put Alakazam down, but I'm kind of hesitant against that because, actually, you know what? I'm not very hesitant against that. We'll put the Alakazam into play, move some damage off this Roaring Moon, and I don't want to put it on the Dunsparce. I want to put it on this Moon on the bench. And now we'll just hit them really hard with the Scratching Nails. See, because I could have moved it, but the next turn I wouldn't have anything else to move to take the multi-KO. So now they're Iono'd, they need to find their Dunsparce in order to kind of pull through here. Thankfully, we have the Energy Retrieval. So the Energy Retrieval will let us finally get a KO on one of these bench Dunsparces. They can run away, draw, do their thing, that's fine. They're literally gonna need to get, let's see, what else do they have here? They're gonna need to get a Dark Patch Sada attach, which is truly really tough if they want to KO us with another Roaring Moon EX. Then we are almost, oh, we're not guaranteed though to get a KO. They're getting rid of a Roaring Moon, so that's definitely not their angle, which I think is fine. They're probably gonna try and two-shot us here. That would be my guess. Just go for more Roaring Moons. Explorer's Guidance, yeah, they're definitely trying to thin, just hit us with a Roaring Moon here and then just go for a two-shot play. But because we have weakness, you know, Grass is a great weakness to hit for this time around. It's going to be tough for them, and we might be able to just pull through a win here. Again, if we can find another way to KO, or to Iono, that would be the big ticket. We've only played one, so the chances we find one are pretty high. That's why I wanted to put the damage on that Roaring Moon, because with this, what's it called? With this Scratching Nails, we're not going to be able to KO a Roaring Moon without any damage on it. So this is a little bit of a tough go here. They're hitting us where it hurts with this Meowscarada, and they're going to try real hard to get the Roaring Moon KO on our Meowscarada EX here. Okay, this is interesting. We get another double turbo, which is always good. I'm debating what the best course of action is here. We could do this. We don't have any ways to draw, so it's got to be a research play. Energy Retrieval, get these two energies back, and I think we kind of just gotta hope, right? We just hope they don't have enough ways to draw here. Just do this, 30 on the Dunsparce, do this, 30 on the Dunsparce. Yeah, that's kind of our hope and our dream. We do that. We get Ultra Ball, which could be nichely useful, but we'll just use it to thin a little bit more. I think we have Lumineon, and Lumineon can get us the Iono, to be completely honest with you, which is definitely better. I think that's better because they play Prime Catcher. If we Iono them, we give them 2 cards. Yeah, I think an Iono play is much better here because they need to get 3 energy anyway, and then they'll also need to find boss if they want to KO this Lumineon. So we'll play Lumineon here, lose Luminous Sign, get Iono, and Iono will both get 2 cards, but we have 2 set up Meowscaradas, so I'm not like the most worried about anything here. And we also get another Grass Energy for later on. So we're doing 400 damage here. We can move 10 damage off of this Roaring Moon just to preserve it, but I'm not sure what we would want to use it to hit. I think actually the best play is to put it on Radiant Greninja. And we'll do this so we can put it on the Radiant Greninja, just 10, that's all we need to do. And I'll also go for the Artisan, just so we can shuffle the deck up a little bit more, because we have research at the bottom that we would probably want to get at some point. And we'll just Scratching Nails for the KO here. Now, the reason I wanted to put the 10 damage on the Radiant Greninja is because one of their potential outs could be, okay, you've put the damage, you know, you've KO'd us, you have no damage on board, we'll throw something in the active like the Baby Roaring Moon, and then if you don't have any damage, you can just, you know, you just won't be able to KO it. So they're gonna go ahead and just draw a bunch of cards here. So by us keeping that damage on the Radiant Greninja, we can move it wherever we need to take a KO. But they're gonna just go for a Trekking Shoes here. Keep that, which is probably gonna be a Dark Patch, but there's a Runaway Draw, which will then go into the deck, and that'll bring them into the other Dunsparce. They could just have another Dunsparce, but here's a Concealed cards. They're able to really go through the rest of their deck here. There's another Dunsparce, but they're gonna need to power up this Roaring Moon first. And this is the thing, do they have the other Counter Catcher? They have the Dark Patch, they have the way to power up the Moon, but do they have the Counter Catcher to KO the Lumineon? That'll be what I'm really sad about. They do have the boss. Oh, man. See, we really tried here to get them, what's it called, to limit their draw. And I think that it kind of just, you know, it's tough. It's really tough when that happens. Alternatively, we could have saved the Hero's Cape for the Lumineon, but I still think we played that pretty well. They kind of just were able to get there. They had the right combination of cards, the right amount of the Dunsparces coming through. Good game for my opponent. Definitely a good game. So what do you think of this Meowscarada EX deck? This deck is a ton of fun to play. I actually think it's pretty good right now. And obviously, you know, it's Meowscarada. TM Evo decks can tend to be inconsistent sometimes, but you have Buddy-Buddy Poffin, you have Arven. The added consistency that this deck gets with Buddy-Buddy Poffin and TM Evo is so strong that I think Meowscarada can be a legitimate threat. The only thing is, honestly, I changed the Perth list to have a Hero's Cape instead of a Master Ball. Having that Master Ball kind of just boosts your consistency. I'd put it back in. That's my one change for the deck. Other than that, the list is pretty much perfect. You have everything you need to succeed in here. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below what you think of Meowscarada. What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you keep? And what would you change about this list? Subscribe to the channel because I'm posting multiple Pokemon trading card game videos every single week. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanning out.